All right, in section 7 here, we're going to talk about identifying and performing dilations. Good news for you. This again is some more review concepts. We've already talked about dilations in first semester here, so hopefully you'll be okay with this. So as we move through here, it says find the scale factor of the dilation. Remember, scale factor, it's always new over old. Okay, we talked about that first semester. New over old gets you your scale factor. So when I look at this first diagram here, okay, we want to know my scale factor from my going from my original one right here, that's 6, and my new length is 10. Okay, so CP prime over CP, new over old. So my scale factor is 5/3. Okay, so 5/3. So that means that this thing is, remember, it's either a reduction or an enlargement, and obviously we're getting bigger, and you know that because anytime your scale factor is bigger than 1, okay? So P prime is an enlargement. Okay? If we look at diagram B, we can already see it's going to be a reduction because it's pretty obvious that P prime is smaller. So now when we look at the new length is 11, the old length or the original is 22. So we have new over old. So the scale factor is 1/2. Again, since the scale factor is less than 1, this thing is a reduction. Okay, we're getting smaller. Nothing new there. Should be all review. All right. Now, again, regular geo classes, you guys can kind of ignore this part. Honors geo kids, you're going to want to watch this part. This is what's called scalar multiplication. In other words, I'm taking a matrix and I'm just going to multiply it by this number out in front. It's very simple. You multiply every single thing inside by the scalar. So part A here is going to be 0, 15, and 12, 6, -6, -3. Okay. Part B, -24, 12, and 8, 20, -4, and 16. You get the idea. You guys can do part C on your own. That's scalar multiplication. We're going to use that to perform dilations using matrices here. Okay, so I'm going to do this 2 different ways. I'm going to do it first not using scalar multiplication, and then I will use scalar multiplication for my honors geometry kids. So it says use scalar multiplication. Okay, forget that for a second. Suppose it says use a scale factor of 1/3. Okay, if the scale factor is 1/3, then if you remember from first semester, all that means is take that 1/3, multiply every single coordinate by that 1/3. All right. So in other words, regular geo kids, you're not going to have to do any matrix stuff here. So all you're going to have to know is, okay, so A prime is the point -1, 0. B prime, let's see here, 1/3 times 0 is 0. 1/3 of 6 is 2, right? C prime, 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1/3 of 6 is 2. Erase that. Screwed up there. And finally, D prime, 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1/3 of 3 is 1. And so you have your 4 new points now. Okay. It says graph A, B, C, D, and its image. I'm going to take for granted that you guys can plot some points here, but we'll graph the image here. So we have -1, 0. So that's A prime. 0, 2 is B prime. 1, 2 is C prime. And 1, 1 is D prime. So D prime, C prime, B prime, and A prime. Guys, make sure you are labeling your vertices, okay? I shouldn't just see some random points. Label them. All right, so for regular geo kids, that's all you're going to do. Okay, 1/3 times every point, you're done. Honors geo, what you're going to have to do is, okay, the scale factor is 1/3. You're going to have to put this polygon in a matrix. So in other words, A is -3, 0. B is 0, 6. C is 3, 6. D is 3, 3. And you're going to end up doing the same thing, except now we're going to use scalar multiplication. So the 1/3 goes to every single guy inside. So you end up with -1, 0, 0, 2. 1, 2, and 1, 1, and you'll notice those are all the same points anyway. So again, it's just a different way of doing it using matrices. All right, so in example 4 here, we have a triangle. We have to we're going to dilate it using a scale factor of 2. So regular geo kids, again, R prime, S prime, T prime, multiply everything by 2. -8, 6, -2, -4, and 4 comma 2. You're done. Okay. Honors Geo, same idea, but I'd expect to see 2, and I expect to see a matrix, -4, 3, -1, -2, 2, 1, and then I'd like to see equals, and then that's where you get to your -8, 6, you get to your -2, -4, and your 4, 1. No different, just using matrices instead. Okay. And then example 5 here, we have a composition, so translate, then dilate. All right, so again, we could do this a few different ways. We'll do this one without using any matrices. So if I'm not going to use matrices, then I know that K prime is going to be the point I got to move right 4 up 2. So right 4 is 1, up 2 is 2. Okay, I'm using these points up here. All right, L prime, right 4 is 2, up 2 is 3, and M prime, right 4 is 3, up 2 is 1. You're done. Okay, and then you take those points, scale factor of 2, so K double prime is going to be 2, 4. L double prime is 4, 6. And M double prime would be 6, 2. All we're doing there is combining some ideas that we've talked about already, translating, then dilating, no different than what we've been doing. Okay, so again, I'm going to take for granted that you guys know how to plot points. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and graph those, and then you should be all set. All right. I'm going to let you guys work through these last couple examples here on your own. Okay. Well, I guess that one's not even an example. Last example right here. Okay. Rotate it first and then dilate it, and then we'll talk about that in class tomorrow before we get rolling.